Need a volunteer? Perfect, thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the 6 strategies right off the top, and then we'll just kind of break it down from there. So the very first thing you want to do when you're developing 6 strategies to live your best life, and this is just my viewpoint, like you guys can develop your own, but I feel like these are the things that help me get to my next level of greatness, and the next level of greatness, and the next level, and the next level. So the first thing is, you've got to decide what you want. You have to make a decision what you want. Decide is good. That's good. So number 2 is, once you make a decision what you want to do, or what you want your life to look like, you have to commit to it. Third thing is, you have to visualize it. Fourth thing is, you have to believe in yourself. Fifth thing is, you have to believe it can happen. Okay. And then the final thing is, don't let anything stop you, not even you. Okay, so the very first one, decide. I know that probably sounds real trivial. You wake up and you make a decision what you want your life to look like. But a lot of times when I have conversations with people, especially when I'm talking to 9-to-5ers, I'm like, what does your best life look like? And most people kind of give me the look like, I have no idea. Like, I thought this was my best life. But there really is something else. Like, who feels like they're living their best life right now today? Raise your hand. 4, 5 people, kind of 6 people out of the whole crowd. What does your best life look like? Tell me what that looks like.
We're married, we own a home, we've got 2 dogs, a job that I love. Could be better, but it's pretty darn good.
Okay, what could be better?
I could have a better car,
okay.
More money.
What kind of car?
Something nicer than what I have.
Like what?
Something specific. Visual.
What is it?
Tesla.
Tesla,
Model
what
S.
color is it?
It's black.
What's the interior look like?
Black.
Drop top?
No.
No drop top? What kind of wheels?
Just standard's fine.
Okay. Standard's fine.
Just want a Tesla.
Okay.
Just any Tesla.
Just
any
give me a Tesla. I'll put wheels on it.
Who's the other? You said you raised your hand. What does your best life look like? What does that look like?
I'm living my best life.
What does that look like? What is that? Because we don't know.
I can do whatever I want to do.
Okay.
I work whenever I want to work.
Excellent.
I'm fortunate to have the ability to do what I want to do.
Okay.
And it's something that I wished for about 6 years ago, and it finally came to fruition.
Excellent. How did you make that happen? What did you do specifically? Just a few things.
I give it to the universe. The universe gave me what I wanted. I asked for it, it gave it to me.
Did you prepare yourself, though? Or did you just kind of wait for it to happen?
I don't know if I prepared myself, but I asked for it.
Okay.
And I knew that I wanted it, and I had a strong feeling about it.
Okay.
And it actually, I realized it about 6 months ago, that I'm finally living the life I've wanted to live.
Excellent.
And it was like, it's great. I love it.
You guys see that look on his face? Like when you're living your best life, that's what it looks like every single day of your life. Not just moments, but you have moments where it's like, oh, life is happening, because life is going to happen. But when you're living your best life truly, that smile is what you have the majority of the time. The majority of your life looks exactly like that. I was talking to one of my coworkers yesterday, and we were kind of walking past each other in the hall, and you know, you ask people on Monday, hey, how you doing? And they're kind of like, well, yesterday wasn't Monday. And they're like, oh, it's Monday. And I'm like, but, okay, what's wrong with Monday? It's no different than any other day. Oh, I wish it was Friday. What's so different between Monday and a Friday? It's the same day. It's all about your perspective and how you see it. So I said to him, if you were doing what you loved, every single day of your life would be the weekend. Every single day would be a Friday. Every single day would be a Sunday. Every single week would be a Saturday.
You are so true.
Exactly.
I hated Mondays. I always have hated Mondays. I love Mondays now.
Absolutely.
Because I get to do whatever I want.
Absolutely.
And if I want to work, I work. If I don't want to work, I don't work.
Absolutely.
And it's all because I manifested it and I've asked for it. And I continue to ask for it. And I believed that I would receive it.
Absolutely. And I feel the exact same way. So ask me what my favorite car is. Ask me what my next car is going to be.
What's your next car going to be?
My next car is going to be a Porsche 911 Turbo S, black interior. It's going to be black on the outside with a drop top with some hot rims on the outside.
That sounds great.
And I can see myself, I can see myself visualizing. I can see myself sitting in that car. I can feel what the engine feels like when I rev that engine. I can feel what that leather feels like under my hands. Visualizing it every single day. If you want something, you got to decide what it is first. Because a lot of times we just don't know. And it's no fault of our own. We get up, we wake up every day, and life just happens, and we just kind of go along with it. We just go along to get along. And I'm no different. You know, I was doing the same thing, but at some point I asked myself, there's got to be something more to my life than this. There's got to be more to my life than me getting up, going to work every day, or getting up, going to school every day, or getting up and doing whatever it is that I did every day. And when I started asking that question to the universe, guess what? Like, my entire life just opened up. But the trick to that is, when you start asking, you start seeing, and you make a decision what you want, you've got to prepare yourself for that thing that you want, meaning you've got to put in the work. You've got to do the work. You can't expect for life to just happen, that best life just shows up. You've got to put in the work, and I'm sure that you have put in the work. You've worked hard, and you've paid your dues, so to speak. And once you do that, and you start to understand the rhythm of your life, because your life has a rhythm to it, and once you find out what you really want to do, and once you're really doing what you want to do, you're like literally walking in it every single day of your life, and it feels amazing. It feels absolutely positively amazing. So make that decision what you want your life to look like. And if you don't know right now, start at a place like, just kind of look around and see what other people are doing. And I'm not telling you to mimic what other people are doing, but just kind of identify, oh, I want this, and I want my life to look like that, and I want to be able to do this, I want to be able to travel around the world, I want to be able to, you know, be married and have kids, or dogs, or fur babies, or whatever it is that you want. Draw the picture of what that looks like. Have that image in your mind. Make a decision that's what you want, and just go for it, plain and simple. And once you decide, you've got to commit to it. So it's not like you just get up, you make a decision, okay, this is what I want, but then you don't do anything. Like, it's just there. It's just a thought in your head. It's just here, and it doesn't go anywhere. Nothing is manifesting physically in your life. Commit to it and like go hard every single day. And you're like, well, Loronda, what happens if life happens? What happens if I get sick? Or if, you know, my car breaks down, or if this happens, or if that happens? If you guys are waiting for a moment where your life is not going to happen, it's not going to happen. So if you're waiting for that perfect moment when I can live my best life, it's not going to happen. Life is going to happen. Things are going to happen on your path where you're going to learn how to shift around those things, navigate around those things, learn how, again, that rhythm of your life. Learn how your life is. Yes?
I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, no, go ahead. I love the feedback.
Mindset.
It absolutely is mindset.
It's all mindset.
It absolutely, and it's a constant work. It's not something that you do for 5 minutes or for 3 days or 5 hours. It's a constant motion of programming yourself, deprogramming your belief system, things that you believed that don't really fit or apply to your life now. So you really have to kind of think about what you think about. Did y'all catch that? Mm-hmm. Think about what you think about. Loronda, what do you mean by think about what you think about? That sounds insane, right? How do I think about what I think about? Well, you think about it. What are your common themes? What are your common thoughts? What do you think about on a regular basis, on a consistent basis? When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you're thinking about? Are you thinking about, oh man, this Atlanta traffic? Oh man, I gotta pay bills. Oh man, all day long it's oh man, oh man. But if you shift that, replace that headspace, because every day you gotta clean out your headspace. Like, you can't just leave that stuff cluttered around in there that's been in there for 20, 30, 40, I'm 52, so 52 years I'm playing the same thing over and over in my head. And when I began to start thinking about what I thought about, I saw those patterns of what I was thinking about on a consistent basis. And when I started recognizing the things that I was thinking about, I did not like what I was thinking about. So I changed it. I changed it. And I started to visualize what I wanted my life to look like. But I had to change that mindset first, because I had a very negative mindset. You guys are probably like, I don't believe that. But yeah, it was a very negative mindset. And when I became aware of that, and when I took inventory of my life, because I wanted my life to look drastically different, so I knew I had to do something drastically different. I'm a psychology major, so that kind of helps me out a little bit to kind of go in there and dig around and kind of understand, why do you think the things that you think? And that's the question I asked myself. Why are you thinking this? Why are you doing the things that you're doing? And when I started asking those questions, you know, when you ask those questions, you better be ready for the response. And when I started getting answers to those questions, I didn't like what I heard. Okay, so I didn't like what I heard, so I had to do something about it. I had to take some action. So in order for me to shift my mindset from being negative to positive, I flooded my brain with positive affirmations, quotes everywhere, in my car, in my house, on the mirror, and it shifts your mindset. So it was listening to Deepak Chopra when I was a teenager for hours. I didn't know why I was doing it, but I was doing it. I feel like it was preparing me for this. I would sit and listen to Les Brown for hours as a teenager in my room on PBS for hours. And it was deprogramming, and I didn't know it, but it was happening. In my subconscious, something was happening. But when I became aware of what was happening in my subconscious, I brought that to my conscious mind, and then I started the shift. So flooding yourself with positive affirmations. Yes, you want to say something?
I want to thank you for confirmation because I was in a conversation with someone a few weeks ago, and I was telling them that there's a difference between education and indoctrination.
Oh, yeah.
And as you begin to explain about it, and to give your, as they say, your testimony, I started visualizing your process. You know what I'm saying? Because many of us, the reason why we keep doing the same thing over and over again, because we've been programmed and conditioned.
Absolutely.
And many of us have been doing that unaware.
Absolutely.
Not even knowing the thing that we was truly educated. And because I know where I'm at in my life, and it's kind of where you're at. I'm reevaluating my life, and I'm looking at, okay, am I practicing things or certain principles that are no longer relevant in my life anymore?
Absolutely.
Things that worked when I was younger, they may not work now. So I'm having to go back and reevaluate everything. And that takes, you know, having the proper, the true education.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of things that we thought that we knew, it might have worked then, but it's not working for us now as we get older. Things change.
Absolutely.
Including knowledge.
Absolutely. It's no longer applicable. Things that I thought a year ago totally doesn't apply.
Absolutely.
So it's constantly reevaluating. It's constantly looking at your life and dissecting it, literally spreading it out. Because life to me is like a jigsaw puzzle. Like before we even came here, the pieces of the puzzle were already laid. And when we got here, our responsibility is to kind of take those pieces and put them together to see how everything works. And that puts together that visualization of the big picture of what you're supposed to be doing, your purpose and your passion, having intention about your life. There's a reason why we're all here. Like, we're not here just to get up and go to work and go to school every day. That's not what we're supposed to be doing. It's a part of it. It's an experience. It's a life lesson. And you put all those things together, because I feel like everything you've ever done in your life is connected to everything that you'll ever do. Did y'all catch that? Everything that you've ever done in your life is connected to every single thing that you'll ever do. I'll give you an example. When I was a little kid, my mom said when I was just a little bitty baby, I would take my nursery rhyme books, turn them upside down, and read them backwards. When I was in kindergarten, I was like a killer spelling bee. I was like just bananas with the spelling bee. I could spell words backwards and forwards. Words, that's my language. That's what I'm doing now, words. When I was in college, my professors would tell me, Loronda, you're such a great writer. You should publish some of your poems. I'm like, dude, you're crazy. I'm not doing that. Here I am, several years later, I'm self-publishing books. So words have always been a part of my nature. It's a part of my being. It's a part of my soul. I speak it. I write it. I feel words. That's what I am. So let me tell you guys what my purpose is. My purpose is I am a teacher, I am a healer, I am a life changer, and I use the power of my words to elevate the consciousness of humanity. Did y'all catch that? In 2013, I rediscovered what my purpose is. And I say rediscover because it was always in here. Every single person sitting in this room has a purpose. Every single purpose came here to do something. And a lot of times, we just don't figure that out. Because nobody ever talks about that. Nobody ever told you that you had a purpose for being here. You didn't really hear that type of conversation when you were growing up. I never heard it. It was something I discovered as I became aware and I educated myself. And it's not even always about book knowledge. It's just being aware of your life and what's around you and the type of conversations that you're having when you're at different events, whether you're networking or whether you're in school or at work or you hear something on television. The universe is speaking to you all the time, constantly, giving you messages, giving you clues. Go this way, go that way. Oprah always says you always want to look for the next right move for your life, the next right move. And right now I feel like it's just like I see it. And even when I don't see it, I get still and quiet enough so I can hear what the next right move for my life is. Again, it's that rhythm of life and knowing and feeling that little Go this way versus going that way. It's just that simple. Yes.
There's also a big part of gratitude that has to do with it.
Oh, absolutely.
You have to be grateful for what you have.
Absolutely.
You may have nothing,
Absolutely.
but be grateful for what you have.
Absolutely.
And it will bring more.
Absolutely.
That's one thing that I had a big problem dealing with when I first came into all of this.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I didn't have what I wanted, so it was a big problem, but I've realized now that, and I'm grateful every day for everything I have, everything that I've been through.
Absolutely.
It's all a process.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But a lot of times people want the shortcut. They want me to come in here when I do a talk. Well, Loronda, what's the shortcut? There's no shortcut. Like, I did the work, you do the work. Everybody has their own work to do. So do it. But a lot of people don't want to stay the course and do the work. And doing the work is doing the self-work, doing the mental work. A lot of times, because Josh and I were having many conversations before about the whole professional thing and the networking. We always want to have conversations about, elevating in our careers and, professionalism and all that crap. And I call it crap because if you're not growing on a personal level, you're not growing as a professional. You're just not. You may sustain a little success in your career and in your professional life, but if you're not doing that personal growth, if you're not doing your personal development work, you won't be able to sustain success. And that's what we want to do. We want to be able to sustain success over long periods of time, over and over and over again. And like you said, once you get into that rhythm of that, you walk in that every day. You have the smile that he has on his face every single day of your life. Every single day. Yes.
I want to also, once again, confirmation, I want to also add to what you were saying about learning about gratitude. And then you brought the point about personal accountability and responsibility. And with your gratitude, when you learn to appreciate what you have, then you begin to start realizing, as they say, if you're faithful over few, I'll make you rulers over many.
Absolutely.
And when you learn to utilize what you do have, that opens the door for you to get more. Because you're learning to be accountable and responsible for what you already have.
Absolutely.
And walking in gratitude for what you already have. Because everything we need is right here. Right in the middle.
Please say that again.
Everything that we need is right here.
There's nothing outside of you that you need. This black 911 Turbo S, it's already there. It's there. The private jet that I'm going to be flying around the world, inspiring people to live their best life and to create the life that they want, the private jet is already there. The fleet is already there. It's just waiting for me to show up.
Absolutely.
It's just that simple. And you cannot tell me that those things are not going to happen. And it's interesting how when I talk to people, they can see it and believe it about me, but they can't see it for their own lives. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm confused. So I can sit here and have a conversation with you, and you can believe that it's going to happen for me, but you don't see it for yourself. I'm no different than you. I'm no different. I just did the work, and I continue to do the work, because there's never a point where I'm just like, oh, I'm good, I'm done. There's never a moment. I'm constantly looking for ways to improve and be the best person that I can be. So the visualization, let me show you guys something. Anybody have a vision board in here? Not one person has it.
I do.
Have a vision?
I do.
You have a vision board? You have a vision board. Okay, I'm going to show you this vision board that I did in 2013. And it's in 2013 because it's still relevant, because a lot of the things have happened already, but a lot of things haven't. So I had to do another vision board in 2017. So this is my vision board from 2013. From 2013. Glitter gold, because I'm walking in that. I'm walking in that. There's a private jet from 2013. It's 2018. I'm getting closer to that jet, by the way, just so y'all know. In 2013, I used to watch this show called Criminal Minds. Anybody watch Criminal Minds? And I thought it was the coolest thing how they had like a team of people on this private jet, the G650, flying around the world solving crimes. Like, I was like, I want my team on a private jet too. I put it up there. Book cover. I had a book that I was writing. I've been writing since 2001-ish. But in 2015, a book idea popped up. And then 2017, another one, then another one. And they just kind of keep coming. So I'm writing 3 books currently. I've already self-published 3 books. This one, this is the first book I wrote. I turned 50 years old. I asked myself, what have you learned in 50 years? What have you learned? So then I started writing a couple things down, and then 365 things that I've learned kind of popped up, and then I just put a little story to it. So it's like a personal guide for living your best life and self-transformation. Those quotes that I was telling you guys about First book I wrote was this one. Actually, this is my handprint when I was 5 years old.